Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Info Hazard Podcast Show. I'm Dave. That's Phil.
That's me.
Phil,
boy.
My boy. Did I say you were my boy?
Yeah, me boy, like an old Irishman.
Me boy, Phil.
Philly, me boy.
So, let's face it, viewership is plummeting. Danny, he's got a migraine. He couldn't join us today. I think
the coward's excuse.
I think we need to change it up. So I was thinking I got no ideas, unfortunately, but I did have one idea.
Good start. Okay. Lying, that's a good start.
I did have one idea. You've seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? Yeah, you've seen improv.
Yeah.
I decided that we should apply arbitrary constraints to this episode in the hopes that it becomes funny.
Okay. All right. I'm going to channel my inner Colin Mockery.
There you go. So I was thinking maybe we could do our first segment with only questions. What do you think?
How would that work?
How would that work?
Are we getting somewhere with this?
Will we see? Will we find out now?
What's the topic?
Should we shorten the work week?
What makes you ask that?
Does work kind of suck?
Does it ever?
Where are my notes?
Lost your notes?
Could you describe economic justice?
Who gets to be on top of the economic food chain? Is it the people who own all of the data centers, or is it the people who mine the lithium to build those data centers?
Should ordinary people, in other words, get to keep the fruits of their labor?
Should they be able to loosen the shackles on their legs as they build the giant power plants?
So, do you know anything about the history of the 40-hour work week?
What do you want to know?
Well, were there abusive and awful conditions post-industrial revolution? And how did that ever change?
Has it changed?
Well, we have a 5-day work week, don't we?
Well, have you ever been forced to do overtime at your job?
Have I ever had an hourly job? Can salaried employees get overtime?
Can I even remember if I've ever worked a job that hasn't asked me to work overtime when I didn't want to?
Were the unions instrumental in bringing about a 40-hour work week? Is it getting painful?
Or was it the simply the boss's fault for being so awful?
Did you know that the Ford Motor Company in 1926 instituted a 40-hour work week?
Did you know that Henry Ford had interesting opinions on the Jews?
I wonder if Henry Ford could reasonably be compared to Elon Musk. I wonder if that... Not really a question. Is that even a question?
Wouldn't it be nicer if Elon Musk provided something of value at the end of all of his acquiring all the wealth in the country, instead of just flushing us down a fascist hellhole?
Will we ever know? Yeah. Have you heard of the 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act?
Which one is that?
How can I say this as a question?
Were you going to respond soon?
Am I? Well, did federal minimum wages exist before that?
I can't remember. Can you?
Well, here's another. Have you ever gotten time and a half pay once you're over 40 hours a week?
Fuck, I don't know. Yes.
All right. Okay. Wait a minute. All right.
Oh God.
Pause.
How long is this episode? 7 hours?
All right. I think we've beaten that one to death, but I think we're going to keep it going. What's another good improv game?
Zip Zap Zop? I don't know.
What is Zip Zap?
I don't think it will actually translate. I think you literally say zip, zap, and zop as you point to people. First of all, we only have 2 people. Second of all, that's audio poison. So rip our audio listeners. And third, there's no way to convey information using this game. So zip, zap, no zop. We're done with that one.
Okay.
It's just fun to say, which is why I brought it up. And sometimes I just need to say things, which is why I joined this podcast.
Maybe we should do... What is it? These scenes, or we could do impressions. Maybe maybe I'll do an impression and see if you can get who it is. But I'm not particularly good at impressions. But I think a good impression would be would have several characteristics. All right, you tell me when you know who I'm doing an impression of. All right, here it is for the record. I've made my selection. It doesn't apply to people in my profession, but overtime pay is where you get time and a half, and it kicks in after 40 hours in a week. Thanks to the 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act signed by Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Someone who's really
Had too
itchy?
many beans in the galley.
Okay. Whoa, that's a puzzler. Yeah. We've had a couple of trivia games in this particular podcast, but this is our hardest question yet. Who are you imitating? Someone gassy and itchy.
I think the actor's just itchy. Ugh, the acid. You know what's strange? When I was back on shore, I was on the internet looking up research papers on the topic, and I saw that a surprising number of studies have shown a shorter work week leads to win-win outcomes. Any guesses?
Huh?
Any guesses?
I fear that if I offer a guess, you might stop.
I wish I'd stopped with the salsa. Oh, the habanero peppers. They're all out of
Some sort of
Pepto-Bismol.
marine
What?
flatulent actor.
That's a correct.
What are you, Kevin Costner?
No, I wasn't. I'm not even a celebrity. I'm just a. Hold on. What did I write? I am a fisherman with severe heartburn.
Yeah, I was just trying to pin that on like someone you could have been doing an impression of.
Yep. Okay. Well, that just like
And
any
also-
good game, the rules were totally unclear. I'm glad I could tee that up for you.
That's good. That's good.
All right, but I'm gonna do the next one in a similar vein, and this time I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Okay, improving.
That's the funniest chatbot I know.
Yes. I should do Grok, and it'll be like, "You're a Nazi."
Yeah.
You're a Nazi watching kitty porn. Example: don't pull it, you idiot! A large percentage of workers in Iceland tried a reduced work week. And obviously the workers were happier and healthier and more delicious. But they also
so you're
didn't become...
Dracula getting a tooth extracted?
Correct. Ding ding, 2 point, or a
Nice.
vampire at the dentist. Okay.
Okay, a vampire at the dentist.
Okay, next.
Okay. Well, okay. So some feedback on this game so far.
Okay.
I have no idea what the fuck you were saying. Like, I was completely consumed by like trying to suss out the impression.
Okay.
So you're saying something about the 40-hour work week? Is that what we want to convey today, or do we want to convey tooth-hurty Dracula?
Yeah, all of the above. We're trying to change things up a little bit, but why don't I wrap it up? And it feels like, thank God.
Like Keir Starmer, our motto is change, not hope and change. That's a little too far for us. Just change.
I'm interested in what the government could do to improve people's lives, and this is an interesting one. You know, when I was looking at the history of the 40-hour work week, you know, yeah, there was the 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act, which was a huge piece of progress, but you know, a lot of local laws and company-led actions, especially under pressure from unions, was sort of already chipping away at the idea of the infinity-hour work week, which came before. And yeah, we should do that again. I think it's kind of it. It is sort of weird how many studies of this basically just show that it's a win-win. Like Dracula was saying, like it's obvious that the workers are happier and better off, but also like, you know, if you drop from 40 to 35 or something like that, like they're not getting less done. They just sort of like stop putzing around, or they take the opportunity to push back against people who are wasting their time.
Yeah, but it also like how far can you push that? I'd love to find out. But maybe it would be a bad thing if you pushed it all the way, because it's like you could push it all the way to 0, and then you wouldn't they wouldn't have any need to keep you around.
Well, yeah, I think that's interesting. We've talked a lot about how technological progress is like really should be a good thing, right? Like if we can make it so the same work gets done with less people working, like that should mean that people have more time to do things that they enjoy. But that doesn't happen in our system. But, you know, in a system that puts downward pressure on hours that people can work, then that could very well happen. And like, yeah, in the limit, it's just the universe dies in a heat death, Phil. So I'm not sure that I leave it to the next generation to figure out the solution, as that goes to zero. But like, I think it's a
Yeah.
pretty reasonable, in our current situation. I could totally see 25 hours. Like, I don't think that's crazy at all for that to be the norm.
A key caveat to this is you can't like keep the same hourly wages and do this
But
because
yeah, no,
that's not, yeah. Then you're not having the like redistributive effect of like taking the value of the efficiencies that we've generated over time
right.
and dividing that amongst the workers. If you leave the system to run as it's designed, it funnels all the money up to the top.
In all of the studies that I've looked at, generally when people are talking about doing this, they're talking about not cutting salaries. Keep the salary the same, demand less, fewer hours. And yeah, if you're
Mhm.
on hourly, if you're being paid hourly, then you'd have to increase the hourly rate to do this.
Here's a question, right? If there's no difference between a 25-hour work week and a 40-hour work week in terms of worker productivity, let's just take that as given for this example.
Sure,
Why don't companies
do
just,
it.
well, do it and pay their employees less? And I think the answer is they actually do. But what they don't do is they don't reduce the hours of individuals. What they do is they reduce individuals. So we're seeing massive layoffs all over the economy, and this can be attributed to productivity gains being funneled up into the hands of the heads of these companies.
Right. That's okay. Got it. So, okay. Good puzzler. Yeah. Why don't they pay less? And yes, they do. John Maynard Keynes had a famous prediction like 100 years ago that people today might work as little as 15 hours per week. Well, actually, I think the prediction was in 2030. So,
Yeah, yeah.
let's prove the guy right.
It could be like just a really weird looking graph where our hours go up over time and then boom, right at the end.
Yeah.
But he could prove to be right if all the most dire predictions of AI turn out to be true and everyone truly does lose their jobs. Then yeah, then only a few people will be working, and then everyone else will be landless proles feeding off the scraps of the robots.
If you know what a prole is, leave a comment. And if you want to be one, buy SpaceX stock.
Hey, David, how do you feel about traitors? Comme si, comme ça. It's all right.
Yeah. No, I guess I'm generally not a big fan of traders.
I think you join most people. And I think what we're seeing right now in some recent Republican elections is a backlash against perceived traitors within their ranks. Yeah. Unfortunately for us in the country, the treachery here is stepping up to Donald Trump, which is something that you and I would like to see.
Yeah, that's not treachery. But oh man, you turned that one around on me, Phil. I guess I definitely
Well,
needed to qualify
if
my
your political
answer.
identity is completely wrapped up in promoting whatever Donald Trump thinks is best for the country, and then someone says, actually, Trump, it's not good to fuck kids on an island, or tank the economy because someone from Singapore said a mean tweet about you, or whatever he's doing this particular week, bombing busloads of school children.
No, they were in the schoolhouse. They were not on a bus.
Bombing class loads of school children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I want to talk about Bill Cassidy, or I guess the waning importance of Bill Cassidy and the rising importance of Julia Letlow.
Who?
So
Don't know who
Bill
Letlow
Cassidy,
is.
yeah, well, I guess it's going to be a name we get to know. Hopefully not for long. We'll see. Bill Cassidy was one of 7 Republican senators that voted to convict Trump for incitement of insurrection in his second impeachment trial. He faced some backlash to this. The Republican Party of Louisiana, where he is a senator, they censored him. In 2023, after Trump was indicted for mishandling classified documents, like the stacks of papers in the bathroom at Mar-a-Lago, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Remember that old chestnut?
Thanks for
Yeah,
reminding me.
so what is this podcast if not a trip down memory lane? Cassidy called for Trump to drop out of the election, which, boy, wouldn't that have been great?
Oh
He
my
just
gosh.
was like, I call on Trump to not use the momentum of this party that is built entirely to serve him at this point and drop out for shame, because he definitely feels shame. So he got the
Yeah.
Republican nomination, shock horror. Cassidy
This is
declined to endorse him. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
And
I'm just getting
yeah,
kind of a little bit depressed.
so, well, let's keep it going. Well, Cassidy up for re-election this year, and Trump endorsed his challenger, Julia Letlow. The primary just happened, and Cassidy got 24% of the vote, which put him in third place, which is pretty much like unheard of in like a primary for an incumbent, right? Like he's
Especially one who
behind.
didn't like do anything notable wrong, right? I feel like if you know, embezzled government funds or something, maybe you could have that. You got to hand it to the guy for
Yeah,
running for re-election, right? I'm so sick
right.
of all these people who are just like, "Oh, I'm going to
Yeah, like
retire."
I'm gonna stand up to you and retire. Yeah, that's such bullshit. But it's like I'm gonna go over at least two people who have taken the route of standing up to fight and losing, because again, like, we don't like it and I don't know exactly what to do about it, but 30% of the population or whatever are just raving fascists that will do absolutely anything to keep the Fuhrer in power. So he ran for re-election. The person who got the nomination was Julia Letlow, but he also was behind John Fleming, who ran like mostly against Julia Letlow because they both figured that Cassidy was done after Trump said mean things about him. I got a quote, a banger of a quote from this PBS NewsHour article
Yeah.
about the election. For some voters, Trump's endorsement was all that mattered. And Barbara Dufresne,
Nice name.
67, of Marrero, Republican voter. I don't know. I feel sorry for sharing this quote because it just paints her as just the dumbest motherfucker who's ever lived. She is Trump's lady all the way, said Barbara Dufresne, 67, of Marrero. She added that she knew little about Letlow, good start,
Obviously.
and was counting on the president to lower her health care costs and increase her social safety net. Quote, I always vote whatever Trump wants. It just makes me think that there's just no point. Like, we hem and haw about democracy, and like, these people are there and their vote counts as much as yours, and actually more, because
Right, because
they're in states that matter more, and they're older, so statistically they're more likely to vote.
Well, they are represented more, certainly in the Senate, but Louisiana is probably not going to a Democrat any more than California is to a Republican, right? For Senate.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, it's pretty gross. I mean,
like,
well, thanks, Phil.
So completely disconnected from reality. Just fucking Barbara. Yeah, like I
Thanks,
see
Barbara.
everything that Trump is about, and I think that in a million years he would do fucking anything to lower healthcare costs and increase the social safety net, as if nothing he's done for the past 80 years of his lifetime. Older than Barbara, who's getting up there. Stupidest motherfucker on the face of the planet. Second only to everyone else who voted the same way she did.
No.
Anyways, let's move on, shall we?
Barbara's giving me heartburn like a sailor. Or like fisherman heartburn.
Good. Callbacks are good. We're rife with improv games today.
Yeah.
More callbacks. Let's see. Let's talk about Thomas Massey. This one's one right?
Yeah, this is depressing.
Yeah.
But you know what I actually like? I mean, sorry, but backing up to previous guy, what's his name? Just Cassidy.
Bill Cassidy? Yeah.
Despite him voting, for the impeachment, he pretty much was in the bag for Trump on everything, right?
He basically didn't have policy disputes with him. He just didn't like the fact that he was, a criminal, basically, that he tried to overthrow the government and also took classified documents out of after his presidency.
But you say he didn't have policy disputes with him. the thing is, he does. So, like, for example, like, he voted for the War Powers Resolution, right? But he was being totally, silent when the war started. Like, I didn't hear him say anything about the war in Venezuela. Like, didn't hear him, barely speak a peep about Canada or Greenland or Ukraine. So it's like, if you
Yeah.
so yeah, he suddenly realized that
I
that
feel
he
like I
should
don't
vote
want
against
anyone
him.
to speak a peep about Canada or Greenland. I
That's
feel like if we all like hope hard enough, it will become a historical footnote and not something we need to keep worrying about.
okay, fair enough. But like the point is, by people, by all of them being such cowards early on, they enable this guy, and it's like, okay, then they lose an election, and now he's finally going to vote for the War Powers Act, and I think he also got in some kind of like mild shouting match with him in a Republican conference luncheon room or some shit like that. It's like
Oh,
great,
was that him? Yeah, I heard about that.
like where was that like over the last year and a half? Where was that about like ICE? So I don't know. Like these people, like they don't agree with Trump. I mean, the problem is that our politicians are shape shifting, selfish bastards.
Right.
So, like,
I think they do. I think they do agree with Trump on most things. Like he's described as a moderate Republican, right? Well, I think he probably is in favor of the majority of the border control policy. Probably not the implementation because nobody likes that.
some people like that.
Not
Barbara probably
so
likes
well.
that because it gives her a better social safety net. Like, I like shooting Americans in the back of the head on the street because it cuts inflation. Thanks,
Yeah.
Barbara.
No, yeah. Right. I forget. As mean as I can be, I always give them too much credit. That's nuts. What were we talking about?
When you were moving on to Thomas Massey,
Oh, sure. Yeah. Thomas Massey, co-sponsor of the Epstein Files Transparency Act alongside Ro Khanna, a Democrat. Also didn't quit after standing up to the Trump administration
right? Yeah, like,
for
yeah, he like importantly, like that was like a large part of his brand. Like he was doing it the whole time, right? It's not just that he didn't quit. It's not that just that he didn't quit. It's like, yeah, that was his
yeah, and
his
Thomas
main
Massey,
policy.
like he and I think would disagree on many points of politics, but he's an interesting figure. There was a vote in 2017 to put sanctions on North Korea, and he is the only member of the House to vote against it.
Well,
So
he's a libertarian, right? Like sanctions,
right.
that's government putting their thumb on the scale,
Well, you could
interfering
apply
with
that
the
to
market.
anything.
Right. Well, yeah. I don't know, yeah.
Anything like he's in the government. Like if you take like the
Any
absolutist
action.
extreme of the libertarian line,
No, but
you would
like,
just vote no for everything.
right, but like sanctions are like particularly, that is real market interference, right? Whereas like
Ye-
like some amount of
Do you think it's purely economic? He's not just a big fan of Juche.
I don't know who Juche is, so
Juche is Marxism in a Korean fashion. Like the Korean variant of communism.
he's probably not a fan of that, I would guess. But yeah, anyway, all right, whatever. I'll let you have this one. I do not have a leg to stand on. He is a libertarian though, right? Like that was his.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
I think libertarians are okay with the government breaking up monopolies in theory.
I think, yeah, though yeah, a lot of so-called libertarians put up with a lot of government overreach in the interest of maintaining elected power. Anyways, Thomas Massey, he ran for re-election this year and lost. He lost the nomination to Ed Gallerine, who Trump endorsed. It was the most expensive House primary in history. A lot of that money came from pro-Israel lobbying groups, so Massey must have done something to upset the Israel lobby. I guess maybe going
Lovely.
against Trump gets you the ire of the Israel lobby, since
Now, I'm not going to spread any rumors about stuff I don't know anything about, but I heard that Epstein was a Mossad agent.
I mean, that is just spreading rumors.
No, I said I wasn't going to spread rumors, but he was definitely a Mossad agent.
Epstein is accused of being both Russian and Israeli agent based on conjecture over some of the documents in the publicly released Epstein files. But
If he loses the Republican primary, like, he should run as an independent. Like, dude, run as an independent.
Yeah, I think both of these guys could run as independents. I think Thomas Massey has a much better chance.
Cassidy?
Bill Cassidy.
Yeah. Cassidy's got Cassidy is done. I mean, and Massey was quite close. Plenty of Republicans around there prefer him over Trump stooge.
Not only that, but you got to win the general election at some point, right? And Thomas Massey earned himself a national platform by being a very public proponent of the Epstein Files Transparency
Shoot,
Act.
he should just run as a Democrat. Do it, Thomas.
You could. I mean, that's one way of doing it. I don't know. Yeah. I bet Democrats would absolutely vote for him. I bet they would.
That's what I'm saying. The lesser of two evils. There's no shame in losing an election. You know, like, half the people that run in two-person races lose. And by running and, you know, putting the right issues out there, you know, there's such a thing as losing the battle and winning the war. Like, anyway, I'm very grateful to...
That's not the American way, though.
Well, you ever heard of Abraham Lincoln? There's a guy who lost his Senate race.
I guess I should say the modern American way is winning every battle and losing the war.
Right. Well, so, yes, for the modern example, see Iran.
Yeah. Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam.
It's critically important to see, like, loud, proud dissent, even if it's not always winning. And, you know, it's pretty embarrassing that some other, whatever, Trump puppet, you know, that people like Barbara, the Barbara infection is, I don't know.
Okay.
It's barbaric.
Let's end on a positive note then, because no one ever said that doing the right thing is easy, right? Like, sometimes doing the right thing requires sacrifice. So sometimes that sacrifice is the Republican nomination in the next election. But if it's any solace, if you don't do the right thing and you keep quiet and let evil men do evil with no pushback, you're only making Barbara happy. And Barbara fucking sucks.
Yeah, dude. Fuck Barbara.
Fuck Barbara.
God.
Holy shit.
Barbara's the worst.
This is an anti-Barbara podcast.
If you have any choice words for Barbara, please
Barbara
leave a
Dufresne,
comment.
67 of Marrero.
If you think Barbara's an idiot, leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
I don't...
Wait, you left her. You cut that out. No. Oh,
I don't know.
Loop
Calling
it.
her out is fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't cut it. Loop it. Put that on repeat.
Loop it. Keep it in. Double it.
Now let's just do the next 30 minutes. Just be like, Barbara sucks.
Fuck Barbara Dufresne, 67 of Marrero. Trap remix.
Any plans for 4th of July, Phil?
I'm gonna light some stuff on fire.
Nice. Fireworks, not American flags, I hope.
No comment.
All right. Well...
No, I got some sparklers. I don't know. Do you have 4th of July plans? Like, what are you doing for America's 250?
And around here, they have...
Are you hyped? Feeling patriotic?
Am I hyped? I get Friday off. That's great. Love that. And I got Juneteenth off too. Like, I mean,
nice.
I'm kind of a fan of this period. Getting
Thanks,
the days off.
woke DEI.
Yes, and then
Another holiday.
And slave owner founding fathers. I'll take it. My main complaint about it all is that around here they have a drone show because they don't want to, start another Altadena fire, and and drone shows are just incredibly lame. Fireworks were already pretty lame, but drone shows are the lamest fucking thing ever.
Fireworks are lame? Hard to disagree. They go boom.
Yeah.
And they're like big.
They're not that big. Not that big.
Pretty big.
I don't know. Well, maybe this can be our poll this week. All right.
Answer in the form of a question.
Are fireworks
See, I can do callbacks too.
Are they? All right.
Why is it so loud outside? The question every dog is asking on 4th of July.
What the fuck?
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Rye exploding. Whatever. How would Scooby-Doo say exploding?
Exploding?
Exploding? That's fucking good.
What
That's
the
fucking good.
fuck? It's not exploding?
Who knew you could do impressions?
All right. What do you think? Should we end this episode 30 minutes ago?
Let's retroactively do that.
We'll see. Danny will figure it out in post.
Well, that's going to do it for another...
Barbara doxing episode.
Yeah, that's going to do it for another elder abusing episode of Info Hazard, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.